Sergeant America coming at you, boom, from the past. I thought I'd do a quick 2015 wrap-up. A lot of people are kicking them out, and I definitely recommend let us know your thoughts on how 2015 was on comics, on collectibles, on toys, on everything that you got. So let's go ahead and get this started so it's not uber long. Best writer, I felt that Mignola with the Hellboy BPRD 1952 was really an excellent, at least jump on point for those. Let me try and fix it. For those of us who were not deep with the Hellboy knowledge. I originally watched the movies. I read a couple of the books from the library, started picking up some digitals also on the cheap. But this was definitely a great place in 2015 for people to get in and get started. So definitely enjoyed it, with all of the wonderful contributors to this book. I think almost all around that was just a great and wonderful book. I guess I also want to make sure that I didn't forget to mention Witches. I think it's on hiatus right now, but this is definitely one of those that Snyder and Jock, Snyder is a writer, but Jock, the way he's conveying everything has been real excellent. So that's kind of a honorable mention. I think we'll find that there'll be lots of honorable mentions just because of how great 2015 was. Best artist, Mike Del Mundo. Mike Del Mundo's Weird World. This beautiful artwork, as you can see on the cover, is pretty much what you see inside. Just the wildness, everything that Mike was able to get away with in this book was just amazing. Jason Aaron either put together a great story or just told Mike to go crazy at it. Either way, if you ever see Del Mundo's work anywhere, the watercolor work of it, pick that up. It is just beautiful. Best new DC book, with this whole new DCU change or whatever kind of thing that they're trying to do. One of the best things that came out, and this was almost going to be my best mini, but what a shininess. Bizarro. I mean, the wonderful artwork that you see on here is what you get in the book. Corson, Duart, it was just, I'll get their names in there just so you can see. This was a 6-issue series that it was just fun. It was very fun. They brought in guest artists to do like just a splash page or little boxes. Either way, it was just amazing to have that kind of work done. Like I said, the story was perfect for 6 issues. It probably would have been wearing on me if it had been longer, but now that it's not here, I miss it. I want something like it. Best Marvel that I had picked up in 2015, Old Man Logan. This is Sorrentino art, the Bendis writing. Not much on writing, all right? It was the Sorrentino art that definitely sold me on this. Old Man Logan. Get that out of your glare there. So I think that'll be good. It was during the whole Secret Wars. It could have been written outside of Secret Wars, but it was him visiting each of the different little pieces of Battle World that were hooked together. So like I said, not much of a story, beautiful artwork, and like I'll say later on, Thor, Jason Aaron's and Dodderman's art, that's also my special mention, but I got another piece of that later. Indie, the Paybacks. I keep harping on this book just because of how much I love it, boom, boom, boom. So with Donnie Cates, Elliot Rawl, Jeff Shaw, and Lori Off, you see it's a Dark Horse, but this is issue number 4. This is the last one in Dark Horse. But on their Twitter, they just mentioned that they are working on number 8. So where is it going? I can't wait to find out. I don't know, who knows if they're just on a break or what, but I really don't think they're going back to Dark Horse. I think they're going somewhere else. So wherever it is, Paybacks, grab the trade, grab the single issues. You can find them on your shelf. hilarious, back to old school, wonderful humor with the style. They are repo men who are collecting off of superheroes that can't pay, and then they make those superheroes work for them. So it's almost a little Thunderbolts that way. I just the style of it was hilarious. The artwork I thought was beautiful. I'll just let it hang from there. Honorable mention also for indie. This is a self-published work. Mascot Zodiac. Dave Walter made this himself. This is just a wonderful. I hate to ever compare somebody to another, but I so often do. So let's just say it's Calvin and Hobbes with a touch of Avengers and a splash of just smart wittyism. Everything that I'm not. This was just a wonderful, great read of a young boy who has his stuffed animals, stickers, and costumes that it's like going back to your youth, only better. So, Mascot Zodiac, David Walter on that. So, let's say best event, Secret Wars. Even though it's going all the way into 2016, even though 8 has gone into 9, and that's gone into February, I don't know. It seems like to be forever. Though I have to say the artwork that Ribic has done was just amazing. The story that Jonathan Hickman wrote from the Avengers, Secret Avengers, I didn't even read all of it. I tried to catch up on as much as I could in the library. It was a long story. This is a huge tribute to Hickman on how can you write so much and then cap it off with this. I do think this is the best ending of a story, 9-part series to do for such a long run. So kudos to Marvel for doing that. As you can see, I do like my DC, but Convergence was not a very good event. But then again, it really wasn't an event. DC needed to move its offices. They needed just people to pump out a bunch of books during that 2-month period. And it just kind of missed with that. I was looking for something else, I guess. So, best miniseries then. I looked at it. I debated Airboy. That was very funny, but it's a very select audience that you can recommend Airboy to. You have to like a lot of penis. Let's just say with the artwork that was there, a lot of self-deprecating humor. It was just tough. And instead I went with 8. This was earlier in the year. I mean, Raphael Albuquerque and Mike Johnson. The use of blues and yellows to tell time periods was very intelligent. It was a very good storyline and a story that could continue later on if these guys want to jump back in together. There is a chance for this to go on. But it is otherwise a good 5-part series, I believe, unless I got it collected wrong, but which is possible. I am not very good at being a collector. I am a consumer. Surprise finds. So the one thing that really surprised me this year, the Pitiful Human Lizard, introducing Toronto's newest superhero. This is hilarious. For this coming out on Chapter House Comics. It was on my wall. I was lucky enough I would get to flip through it. You get to see, it's kind of an old school style. The artwork in it, it is, I don't know, a little, I don't know if you would say indie. I wouldn't even say indie. I mean, it's comic book. And this, a simple story, but it's good. You instantly fall for the main character. It's thick. It's heavy for, trying to see what I paid for it. I can't even find it. It's probably a $5 book. Irregardless, definitely worth it. Definitely enjoyed it. I mean, this is just a fun, great, wonderful read. So if you can find A Pitiful Human Lizard, I recommend it. It was one of my favorite finds for 2015. It wasn't really a find. This next one isn't really a find. Everybody, well, I should say everybody. Danny Danger. I'm trying to think of some of the other people that recommended this to me. But I mean, it was one of those things they said you have to get this. Devil's Due. I'm not used to that publisher, but Squires was remarkably smart and delicious. It could have been easily just a little cuddly animals fighting this medieval war, whatever. But there's a beginning of what happened to the humans on each one. It's just a couple stories. This I think was only one of four. So I think there's Squires #1. I, for 4 issues, I mean, it pulled me in. I was able to get all 4. I saw #4 on the shelf in my shop. Luckily, they had all the other 3. Picked them all up. I just devoured them. I mean, it was an awesome, awesome series. So that one wasn't really a find. It was a told to me, but everybody was right on that one. Squires. And that is Ashley Witter and Ash Markowitz who did that. Like I said, it still is just an excellent series. Best cover. I just recently saw the bagging and boarding bad boy Mark recently talked about like top 2015 covers, I believe he did, or I think it was 2015 covers, and it was wonderful, and it got me thinking of Thor. And of course, this is a little bit of a cheat because of how many pages this bad boy is, with black and white version on the inside and the original cover without all the extra goop on it. So luckily this has been very nice and escaped my fingerprints. Marvel has really screwed me recently on fingerprints. This is a $5 book, but like I said, I still think it was very much worth it. I know the arm was a little crazy, but I mean, when you look at the rest of it, I mean, it was just flippin' fantastic Dodderman art. So, I do have to say that is a beautiful cover. So, best gimmick cover or thing that was done this year. I loved the Looney Tunes covers. I mean, this is the only good thing out of this Green Arrow book. Like I'm telling you, if the book was just Daffy and Porky and this, I'd buy that instead of Green Arrow. So, best trade. I mean, I am late to the party all the time, as you know. I haven't done a late video, but best trade paperback. Everybody told me about it. I listened a little bit and then I tuned out a little bit. So then it was all fresh when I read it, and oh, bam, was Lady Killer amazing. This beautiful artwork, this very smart writing. Jolene Jones and Jamie R. Rich really did an awesome job on this. So definitely my recommended trade. I definitely hope people are getting that. Now's the time when we come to departing books, books that didn't make the year, just couldn't keep going. No matter how much I talked about it. Secret Identities, this wonderful independent superhero team from Image, just didn't survive. And I loved the storyline of these people all getting to know each other. One of them has a secret, and one of them is a bad guy who is trying to take down the team. I'm glad they were able at least to wrap it up to some point. Another departed one, Cowl. This is another one, smart, like the 50s, 60s law enforcement are done by, superheroes against supervillains. There's the arguing over contracts, negotiations, and it was a smart book, and it was good. Another Image superhero party one. Evidently those don't last very well. But yet the biggest disappointment of the year, I originally read the series and loved it. When they re-released this, I mean, I thought there could be no wrong. This was a story that didn't take off very well. It took like 3 months after the first issue came out because Convergence got in there, and then it was the storyline just took weird turns, and the groups never quite merge properly, and they just couldn't pull that one off. So so the greatest find that I feel that I got this year, that was not a new book. This is kind of touching back to Late to the Party. Space Ghosts. I got the entire series. I was talking to a friend who used to collect and isn't that deep into it anymore, and cut me an amazing deal. So I really love that Space Ghost. The best new shoes I got this year that were superhero related. Boom, Riddler. I love these puppies. High tops, souped up. It was very fun, very enjoyable to get those. I'm looking, hopefully in 2016, getting some nice Wonder Woman shoes. So, best store that I visited. I love my store, Rainbow Comics and Collectibles, like I love my wife. So this is me cheating. Velvet Underground in Las Vegas. If you get to Las Vegas, please go to Velvet Underground. The owner was excellent. Ended up talking maybe about a half hour, 45 minutes with him. I just happened to greet him at the door. I took photos of every other place I went to but there, because as soon as I got out, I instantly started chatting with him at the door. He helped point out some things to me. He gave me some great deals. A super great guy. So Velvet Underground, Las Vegas, if you're there. Worst store, I'll just call it the Iowa Hemp store. If you know me, you may have heard my story. It's the store where they were trying to get me to go down the basement to look at some comics, and my wife was like, do not go down the basement with these people. We will die. We will be eaten here. I only say this because I love my Iowa hillbillies, because that's my family. So that was quite an experience. Best toy that I got. Boom, boom, boom. Best toy, best deal, best looking. Boom, boom. Mr. Freeze at that wonderful price. Ooh. I've been getting a whole bunch. Luke, Batman reviews. Dang, did he ever blow me out of the water with all of the goodies he's got. I was just lucky to get that one because of that price, because I'm super cheap. So my big, to end this whole thing, the What the this time was a great comic book that I'd heard about, and people were talking about Here Comes Number 2, and the whole series should be kicked out. And I got number 2, and then I just realized at the end of the year I haven't seen any more non-player. Did I get suckered into this too? I got 1 and 2. Are they really never coming out? It's just one of those things. I guess, maybe 2016 we'll get another one. So hope you enjoyed this. I definitely hope to see other people's videos. Hope 2016 treated you good for the beginning. Hope 2015 was wonderful for you. So let's look to the future. Let's get the books you want. Vote with your dollars. Get the deals. Get the wonderful things that make you happy. Be appreciative of the ones you already have. And I guess the last thing would be catchphrase.